Good afternoon, one and all. Present here, all the attendees, the organizer, respected President Sir, Principal Sir, and the entire organizing team on behalf of Shantiniketan Medical College for offering me this opportunity. It's a privilege to be a part of this national level symposia on a very important topic, that is innovation. Now, innovation is the need of the hour, and mainly because the curriculum has changed from traditional. We know that even I, just before 1 year, the student, not even I am very old now. The students used to study in a different curriculum. Now the thing has changed. It's an entire new ball game. So innovation is the need of the hour with respect to teaching and learning, right? However, a new player has impacted the whole medical curriculum entirely, that is COVID-19, right? So I have tried to incorporate both the elements in my today's topic, which will include a bit of innovation with respect to the COVID-19 scenario. Now, Boichitro has already introduced myself quite well. I won't like to introduce myself further. Regarding my topic, I would like to say that uh, teaching learning is an integral part of whole medical curriculum, because the student has to sit through and the facilitator has also to put in the effort in order to make this a two-way communication and discussion, right? However, the whole thing, it boils down to the assessment, because at the end of the year, or being continuous, whether we are taking formative assessment or we are opting for a term assessment, this is the ultimate thing, because whenever the students are checked, evaluated, we need to have a certain tool by which we can test, number one, their understanding, and number two, our effort, whether the both have properly amalgamated or not, right? So assessment is an integral part of medical curriculum, and this COVID-19 scenario has uh, led to the facilitators to adopt online teaching. We all agree with that. There's a no dispute. It's a no-brainer. Unanimously, every medical college, even our college, pan India, are now have shifted to online teaching, right? But when it comes to assessment, there that's a shaky area. Okay, so I would like to share my views and few things that we have done in our college, and also we have a team. You can see I am the core committee member of Medical Education Society of India, MESI. So we continuously organize webinars how to improve medical education, and this topic actually has been inspired by one of those webinars only, right? So today I would like to share, due to lack of time, I would like to share my views on how we can assess both the practical as well as the theory part in this new normal phase, right? So my favorite part, first practical. Theory, we know how we can do it. We give a set of questions, stipulated time, students write their answer and they submit. That thing has also been modified. I will be shedding light on that later. But first, let us take up the practical part, the assessment of which, especially in this new normal scenario, is not the same. Okay. So why we do assess the practical part, right? It's basically based on few principles. Okay, we know this, but let's recap, right? The first thing that we need to we assess, that is whether the student has learned the basic principles of what he is doing hands on, right? Next, apart from learning the basic principle, whether he can do it. So what is he doing and how is he doing, whether he has attended the requisite skill or not to corroborate his understanding. So based on those two factors, we ultimately certify. So we certify both his knowledge as well as the skill. Now you see, this is a common scenario in practical exam, not online, offline, that we used to give, right? So this is a common scenario, a medical student focusing something under microscope. So be it anatomy exam, physiology, pathology, microbiology, we can extend it. Even in case of biochemistry, we see Osazone crystal, okay? Because here we are many faculties from various fraternities, so I would like to diversify my approach. I won't speak of only my subject, okay? So what next? Traditionally, he or she, when he or she is focusing something, one of these will be under his field, microscopic field. So depending on what stream he is being assessed on, these things will be there under his microscope. So what the examiners uh, assess him on her, number one, this is one example of it, whether the student is able to handle the light microscope and uses optics to focus, the very basic thing. If he or she cannot focus, we know the student has not attended the practical classes properly. So this is the first step. If it is done, then we go to the next step. What is the next step? The thing that is in focus, now whether he or she can identify that, and if it's a spotter, he or she needs to simply write that, okay, and based on that, these 2 points we certify their knowledge as well as skill. This is mainly the skill part, not the knowledge part. So the knowledge part generally comes later. For example, in this case, we can ask what are the causes of neutropenia. Suppose there is a peripheral blood smear slide. What are the causes of anemia? How many types of papillae are found on the tongue? And applied importance, right? So this basically boils down to the testing of cognitive domain, that is the knowledge domain of the student. So we first see how he does, and then based on a few questions we test his knowledge, okay. So ultimately the final thing boils down, the assessment purpose is to test the extensive cognitive knowledge, the cognitive domain, that is the knowledge, the understanding, whether it is corroborating with his or her hands-on skill or not. So if a student knows many things but he cannot do nothing, it means he or she has not attended practical class, right? Or if the student can do something but he basically doesn't have the knowledge, so basically he is a technician. We don't want to make technician, we don't want to make Indian medical graduate with complete knowledge and skill, right? So both the things need to be addressed. We all know this, okay, these are all known facts. So why are we pondering over this so much? Because this player has entered the ball game, right? And it has really questioned the need of assessment, especially online assessment, whether it is really needed or not. There is a huge debate going on everywhere that fine, you teach the students online, whenever the school or college opens, then you invite the students, you arrange an offline exam, because how can you take an online exam, that too practical, right? So whether it is rational at all? Well, the rationality we can easily understand if we compare the scenario of two exams. You see, this is the scenario of theory exam. In theory exam, it is very much possible to maintain the social distancing, yes, but mainly in theory. Why? Because we can split the student to sit wherever they want. We can deploy an invigilator, we can give a set of questions, and small groups of students can easily be arranged. However, the scenario is quite different in practical, generally because practical labs are concentrated or expert field of work, okay. Generally we cannot set up lab anywhere. So in general, yes, the batches can be divided into small numbers, but in general the social distancing, the interaction between the faculties and the students, as well as inter-student interaction, is much more in practical, okay. So really the social distancing becomes questionable when we opt for offline practical exam, okay. So can anything be done? Of course it can be done. That is why we are all discussing, we are all have sharing our views regarding what we can do, right? So what we can do is we can think about changing the procedure of exam. Do we have an existing plan? I would say no. Complete existing foolproof plan is not there. Every plan will have its advantages and disadvantages, and if I tell 5 advantages, one of any of the esteemed listeners can rightfully point out few wrongs in that, because it is acceptable. Everything has got advantages and disadvantages. So in order to finally formulate that on the day of exam, we need planning much more ahead. We need to plan ahead so that in the day of exam, neither the students are confused, nor the facilitator is confused, or neither the whole logistic team gets confused. It is a wrong, I would not say wrong, it has been seen that we wait, and finally on the last day we plan something and everything goes hodgepodge. So ideally it shouldn't be done. So first, let us settle the debate whether which is better, online or offline. There have been multiple reasons. Okay, I won't put forward all the reasons. Even if I give some time, many of us can enlist what are the advantages, why online is good, why offline is good, why online is bad, why offline is bad, right? But we would all agree. Okay, let us forget online and offline. Here we see few vegetables, very nutritious vegetables. So each of them has got their own nutritive value. Most of them have got various good vitamins, various good minerals. I agree, we agree, antioxidants, everything. But if we make somebody eat only one habitually, very soon it will be not good for him or her, right? So everything is always better when served as a platter, right? So this is the illustration that I often use in my debate whether online is better or offline is better. It is always better to mix and match and serve a platter. So few things online and few things offline. So this is our plan. Okay, we will mix and match. Next is how. কি করে করব? How will we do it, right? So what are the okay, let us discuss what are the advantages when we mix. Number one advantage is it helps in maintaining social distancing. That is the need of the hour. This is a double star point. This has to be done. এটা করতেই হবে, right? Next is allow for more students to appear simultaneously for online portions, because if we design the exam in offline, we must make small batches. Okay, so simultaneously more students cannot be assessed together, okay, and which will need more time. Very recently I went as an external examiner to Bakura Sammilani Medical College. Over there they painstakingly divided the whole practical batch of 50 students into 3 batches. So at a time 17 students were sparse distributed in the whole lab. So 17 students were coming, we were taking their viva, they were going, and then entire 17 students were coming, and this happened for 6 days. So you can imagine the whole thing continued thrice per day, right? So basically it depends on our infrastructure as well. I am just telling a scenario which may or may not be possible everywhere. So I'll be proposing many plans, and depending on the availability of infrastructure, that can be adopted by Shantiniketan Medical College or anybody from other medical college that are witnessing this slide. Okay, so it will save time, it will reduce pressure on faculties, and standardization is definitely possible. So what are the methods? We all know offline how it happens. Practical, a student will come, we will tell him or her to do something, we will tell him or her to write something. Based on that we will check whether he does something or not. We will check the answer script, we will take table viva, we will take a grand viva. This is how a traditional offline practical exam is taken, right? But when it comes to online examination, practical especially, what we can do, right? There are 3 methods that I would suggest. Number one, direct streaming. I will definitely show how it is done. Number one, direct streaming, exactly what I am doing now, using various meeting platform. It can be Zoom, it can be Google Meet, it can be Microsoft Team, anything. Okay, next, Google form based. Okay, we make a Google form, we post it definitely online. The student take their time to write practical based questions and they revert back within a stipulated time. Okay, next, in-house projection system. Mind it, in-house projection system I will show in detail. It means basically the students are not handled each and everything on their desk. There's a common big screen where things are shown, they witness simultaneously and they write. Okay, so these are various examples of how screenshots of how things are being done at our institute. Okay, for example, this is a practical assessment being taken in using direct meeting platform. This is Google Meet, this is Zoom. Okay, so we show any slide of histology or we can show an x-ray. Basically the student is online one-on-one, we show the x-ray, we assess him or her. It can be done, right? Instead of giving him a plate or ask him to focus the microscope, this can easily be done. The next thing is similarly Google form based. It means we already devised a Google form which has got cross section of say 10 slide. If he is giving a histology exam, he or she can easily identify the slide, mark the answers and mail back the form to us. It's feasible. However, if these are not feasible at all, and if the students have turned up in institution, okay, because there's a problem, maintenance of hard copy of the answer script can be a problem. It is possible, it can be done. Whole forms need to be printed out, okay. The examiner has to be tech savvy, I would say tech savvy, okay. Nothing tech savvy because it's a need of the hour, everyone needs to be acquainted with all this. However, not only the examiner, the entire stakeholder, the students, right from the student to the facilitator to the department non-teaching staff, they all need to be well versed with how a Google form can be printed, how the marks are to be statistically analyzed, everything. So it may be, you see, when given an option, I would always prefer a Google form, but may not be someone else, okay, so I cannot just impart my view on anybody else, right? So the simple yet effective way how we can assess practical using digital media is an in-house projection system. Mind it, this projection system can be simultaneously displayed in multiple halls also if there is a connected network. So students are there, we give a histology slide, they use an A4 paper, they identify the slide, they write to feature, and each student is allowed 1 minute time. Just like this. What is the advantage? The same thing is being done, but now the students are submitting their answer script. So maintenance of hard copy is actually easier. It is much easier when we are using an in-house projection system. Now see, I would like to take some time to orate this whole thing, because each and every time is, line is important, okay. Those who are viewing on your phone, if you like this slide, you can take a screenshot as well, okay, because these are legitimate pros and cons of each and every method. So suppose we are using a meeting platform like Zoom or Google Meet, definitely advantageous. Why? Direct visual contact, this is very important, which is not present in other practical assessment methods that I told you. Google form, I don't know what the student is doing, whether he or his senior roommate is doing, or his senior brother who is a medico can be doing, right? Yes, in in-house projection system, it is those things are not done, okay. So one-to-one interaction, if we want that, many examiners prefer one-to-one interaction, eye contact, the body language, it can be seen if there is a webcam which is showing the student, okay. However, the whole thing needs to be coordinated, so we need a dedicated IT sector, just like Boichitra and team are now very well doing. They have set up the entire platform. I am just sitting over there and all the listeners are sitting at the other end, and simply there is a interaction because I can see you all and you can also see me, right? So there are some disadvantages, definitely. It may be time consuming, okay, in order to set up the whole thing. Main thing may not be standardized. Why? Whenever we don't have a standard set of question, I may ask one thing to this student and I may ask another thing to that student. So the thing that he has not revised the day before exam, the thing we always say, right? Bad, খুব লাগ খারাপ, যেটা পড়ে গেলাম সেটা জিজ্ঞেসই করলেন না স্যার. So this thing may happen whenever whenever one-to-one interaction, unless the questionnaire set is standardized, these things, non-standardization and bias, these are not only Google Meet disadvantage, these are disadvantage of non-standardized one-to-one questionnaire, right? Bias, definitely I know this student is the topper, so even if he or she is not performing on the day of exam, I may have inclination to start with something above pass mark, even if he or she fails to answer a must know area, right? So these are the pros and cons of direct streaming platform. It is the most close to table viva that we take one-on-one, right? But it needs a lot of time. I told you it may be time consuming. One student logging in, logging out, another student logging in, logging out, hell lot of time needed. So Google form, what are its advantages? Mind it, one method is absolutely not recommended. We should always mix and match. So okay, so next is Google form. In Google form, it is extensively standardized. Every student is answering the same question. There is no question of I am not prepared in that question or I am having bad luck. If you are not prepared, but your peer, your friend is prepared, he or she will get better mark, okay. There is no bias, right? And it saves a lot of time on the day of exam. You simply put out a Google form, you allow 30 minutes or 20 minutes, and by that time, the stipulated time, one who sends gets passed, one who doesn't send gets negative marking in that, I mean 0 in that section, right? So what are the disadvantages? Okay, definitely the disadvantages are we need to prepare the Google form. Okay, number one, time, and number two, expertise. Okay, uh, everyone, we are learning. Okay, we have adopted the learning process, and with new normal scenario, you see, the whole entire e-learning session was very neglected when we are undergoing revised basic course workshop or basic medical curriculum training, right? We thought, wow, what is this? What is the new need of all this, right? But I would say I am extremely sad with the entire global pandemic scenario with all the deaths, right? But when it is in regard to medical education, I would like to selfishly state that COVID-19 was a blessing in disguise because it oriented a lot of us who were neglected towards the e-learning platform. It has forced us to adopt something which is the need of the hour, and it will be the mainstream media, I mean mainstream teaching platform in future, even if the infective disease is not there, right? And lastly, the coordination of examiners are very much needed before the exam commences, right? Lastly, in-house projection system. All of the students are placed in lecture hall with an adequate social distancing for practical exam, and we show the slide and they are asked to write the answers, right? So same, it is extensively standardized to all the students in the group, and there is no bias. Okay, the time is saved and no extra expertise is required. Most of us, we may not be expert enough in preparing and publishing a Google form, but we are all expert in changing slides, just like I'm doing now, right? It requires a lot less skill compared to Google form. Won't say no skill, okay? No extra expertise required, no extra expertise. Expertise is definitely required, okay? So again, the disadvantages, we need time. At least to prepare the slide, we need time, right? Most of us, medical colleges, we already have the slides, I mean the charts in form of cards, okay, hard copy. Whenever the students comes and sits in front of us to give the viva, we hand over them, fine, eta dekhe bolo ki ache, they see and they answer. However, in this case, we need to prepare soft copy of all the slides of all the X-ray instruments. It's tricky to prepare digital print of X-rays from the plates. Okay, so it needs to be planned ahead. Okay, so this is a general overview of how a practical exam can be taken. I have some plater. Excuse me, is someone? Okay, fine. I would like to say one thing. আমার স্লাইডটা কি দেখা যাচ্ছে? I think it's visible. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry for interruption. Okay. Okay. So now I have some plater formulation for various subjects, mainly pre and paraclinical subjects, because it is much more relevant for an upcoming medical college like Shantiniketan Medical College. Moving forward, we will definitely have some concrete formula for clinical subjects, but right now I'll just share my views because our team has worked on these few options for, let's say, anatomy. In online, we can do the histology spotting, we can do cross section, we can do radiology, we can do bones in OSPI based Google form. Okay, we can post some area and we can just set a question, what are the attachment in the lesser tuberosity, for example. And similarly with viscera, we give the ventral surface of liver and we can point an arrow and we can ask the student, please identify the structures 1 2 3, like that, right? However, as I told you, online anatomy exams solely can never assess the student. So we need offline, for example, special slide for identification, for window, definitely holding the bone in an anatomical position. So unless each and every student has got bone set with them and they are sitting in front of the webcam, it's a big hassle. So we definitely need bones, proper assessment of bones, viscera, and even surface marking. It has been eliminated, I mean not done in many centers, but it has to be done in offline method, right? For physiology, again, instruments, interpretation of ECG, spirometry, and even the Dale's apparatus, muscle tonicity, interpretation can be done from graphs online. We can use either Google form based or in-house projection system or Google Meet to assess all these. However, in offline method, we have to assess the other hematology, whether they can perform a Neubauer's chamber, a peripheral blood smear slide or not, right? Hematology count, Wintrobe's method, so hemoglobin estimation, as well as other clinical experiments, that is apex beat, BP. We all know what happens in physiology exam. So these has to be done by offline method, right? Coming to biochemistry, my subject. Okay, so online definitely we can do charts, spotters, and grand viva. So we can make clinical cases, problem based learning scenario. We can simply give them a problem, and then we can either ask the student or we can give them space in the Google form or in our production system to write, right? Similarly, Osazone crystal, they are focused under microscope. It is a microscopic field, they can answer. And lastly, instrument, OSCE based Google form. However, again, we need the students in lab to assess the whether they can estimate the value of sugar, protein, ketone body, etc., and colorimetry, as well as identification of abnormal constituent, blood in urine, Benedict's test, all those things. For that, definitely we need offline assessment, right? Okay, I would like to extend my ideas to other streams. Okay, there are many specialists who are watching this, so they may beg to differ, but this is just my overview. Okay, this is not the concrete thing. So in online, we can definitely assess the problem-based card, spotting of instrument, histopathology slide, specimen spotting, just spotting. We can give a standard picture from a standard textbook and they can just spot by looking at the surface characteristic. All right, but offline, definitely PBS, urine test, even viscera, unless we take the jar and turn it on all sides, we cannot say whether it's a tissue of anything, whatever. Okay, I'm not giving specific example. Again, the hematology experiment and exercise on histopathological slide, definitely. There are few exercises where a student needs to change the field in order to count the differentials. Okay, so for that, offline exam is a must. For pharmacology, generally we can take a lot in online. Okay, the charts and graphs, instrument, criticism of prescription. Okay, we give a standard prescription wrong, and then we can ask a student to criticize on either one-on-one or in Google form, therapeutic problems. Similarly, as also drug-drug interaction can be assessed online. However, the pharmacy experiments, if they are done at your center, has to be done offline. And also prescription writing, because that thing may not be okay. It is a, you see, it might be considered online. Okay, depending on the opinion of subject experts. So we can give them time, standard prescription they can write and revert back, but some prefer to assess prescription writing in offline method. When it comes to microbiology, the spotting and viva definitely can be done online, but microbiology, it's all about hands-on. The various staining, Zn staining or gram staining or mounting, serological testing, saline smear of stool, everything offline. So we see we need both of them, right? Yes, I know FMT exam, I mean continuous assessment has to be taken in the second prof, but FMT has gone to the third professional. But still, let's see what can be done online and offline. The spotting, specimen model, X-ray, weapon, viva, toxicology, all those things can be done online. We can simply give a picture of castor seeds, okay, and then we can ask what is this. We can give a picture of viper and we ask what type of snake is this, right? However, writing an injury report and DC, they has to be assessed online, face to face. Okay, so this is all how practicals can be approached for pre and para clinical subjects based on mixing and matching various options, right? However, as I told, the discussion is never complete unless I address few protocols that has to be followed when the students are turning up, when they are coming to us, when they are physically present. So what are the offline examination protocols? These are few protocols. We have divided them on various scenarios that we are following in our institute, and I believe this is a standard policy that has to be followed in every institute if the pandemic is on, right? So wearing mask properly, self-declaration by the students, anything if turns up, it's no-brainer. Self-declaration by the student, thermal screening at entry points, social distancing at all times, nothing is allowed. Books, bags, mobiles are not allowed. Okay, carry your own water bottle, stationery, and even hand sanitizer. Arogya Setu app, star mark. You know, many of us, the utility is questionable, but it's a government initiative and we should respect that and escort the students in batches to exam hall. Not everyone goes into the exam hall like Shialda station, definitely. So what happens when they go inside, right? Well, we cannot deny someone. Okay, see, only asymptomatic staff with face cover mask, mind it, staff. Okay, what if someone is symptomatic and student? We cannot deny him if he has a negative RT-PCR report but he's symptomatic, right? We'll discuss soon. So seating arrangement with social distancing, sanitizer availability, and there should not be eatables inside the exam hall, right? So what happens? Distribution and collection of answer sheets. So first they were outside the exam hall, then they went into the exam hall, and now they are being handed over the question paper, right? So invigilators sanitize hand before distribution of paper, right? Students sanitize hand before receiving and handing back the paper, right? Invigilators sanitize hand before collection and packing. Answer sheets should be preferably opened after 72 hours. Definitely, somebody is now asymptomatic, but he is a potential carrier. Okay, he coughs and sneezes on his answer sheet. Okay, he does like this. সব ঠাকুরের নমস্কার করে তারপর খাতায় জমা দেয়. Maybe something is there in the answer sheet. So we pack everything in sanitized hand. Preferably that answer sheet, the whole bunch should be opened after 72 hours. By that time, the nature would have taken care of the virus, and record of all staff should be maintained. Who did duty in which room? So all the movement register with respect to the exam duty should be maintained to trace back if there is any symptomatic incidents following the exam. After they are done, what needs to be done? The student needs to leave one row at a time, whether they are in practical hall or whether they are sitting in the theory exam hall. এক এক করে বেরো, সবাই একসাথে না, no crowding or any discussion before or after the examination. Fine, we know this. Now, what if any symptomatic candidates appear, right? There should be a clear policy. We simply cannot deny someone who is having fever. Okay, definitely he stopped at the gate, he gave discussion. I mean, he's having cough. Okay, it may be allergic cough, that is a symptom. Thermal screening done, it may be temperature is high. So we should have a clear policy for an isolated room for symptomatic patients, I mean students. Okay, and there should be a clear policy in place that should be employed after obtaining permission from the conducting authority of the exam, which in case of Shantiniketan Medical College would be both West Bengal University of Health Sciences as well as the college management, right? So what are the special sitting arrangement that needs to be done? 6 feet, 6 feet distance all round. So distance between each row, I mean each bench should be 6 feet, and distance between two adjacent rows will also be a 6 feet. Definitely we should avoid less crowding. There should be decreased number, I mean less number of invigilators per hall, because when you are dispersing the students, we need more faculties or more staff to invigilate. But where we will get staff? There comes the role of CCTV with central monitoring. The students needs to be warned, you are being monitored on CCTV. Whenever there is a notion that somebody is watching us, automatically performance improves. This is not only true for examination but for everything. When we are being monitored and we are conscious about that, our performance improves and our negligence decreases. This is a general rule, right? So we have employed these type of innovations in our college. This is very simple, a simple wire frame with cellophane sheet. This can be done either round or it can be done in a squared fashion. Okay, this is especially important when the student is sitting in front of us giving grand viva. So yes, individual face shield for examiners or mask, some people may not be comfortable with the face shield, right? So a barrier just like this, just to prevent direct spilling of aerosol, has proved to be quite beneficial in our experience. Okay, innovations, I would like to say contactless practices, if it is possible, can be done. So online forms and registration and even QR code can be used for verification when there is a biometry for attendance in the exam hall. If frisking is needed, if you suspect that এই ছেলেটা খুব বাদর, শিওর কিছু একটা নিয়ে ঢুকছে exam hall, so definitely the staff needs to wear triple layer mask and face cover and gloves, which is optional. Okay, definitely gloves may be optional, it may not be comfortable, so it is optional, and it should be preferably done by one individual, so it is very easier to trace that individual in case of any incidence of infection in future. And lastly, there should be a central committee to oversee the whole thing, to prepare the checklist, whether for it is documentation or to identifying remedial measure. everything, at every places, clear policy needs to be implemented, and it has to be overseen by a special committee of medical practitioners. So I thank you all for your patient hearing, and lastly I would like to acknowledge Dr. Sanjay Das, professor at FMT. Dr. Satyajit Shah is a assistant professor of anatomy, and Professor Parthapratim Pradhan, he is a principal of Bankura Sammilani Medical College, because we are a team we work on behalf of Medical Education Society of India, and in this context I would like to extend our offer from MESI, Medical Education Society of India, so that in future we will also perform these sort of innovative symposia regarding medical education by collaborating with Shantiniketan Medical College. And MESI and these faculties have also given their inputs in my slides. So I thank you all, and now the forum is open for discussion, and thanks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ghosh, for your wonderful presentation, which is actually very apt in this time. So I wouldn't be wasting much time right now.